Hello, I am Devam Saxena. Welcome to GetAds. The topic that we'll be considering today is known as derangement or derangement. So what is derangement? Derangement is like putting, say, n envelopes and n letters together in a way that none of the correct letters actually is put into the correct envelope. So what does this mean? For example, say we have 4 envelopes A, B, C and D, and there are 4 letters 1, 2, 3, 4. If A1, B2, C3 and D4 are the correct arrangements for the envelopes, then the arrangement that we have to consider is the one where neither A1 or B2 or C3 or D4 is satisfied. So what we'll do is we'll try to solve this question considering 4 letters and 4 envelopes in the normal layman method. Then we'll actually use a formula which we know, which is known as the derangement formula or the derangement theorem, and then we'll see where did this theorem come from. So the first 2 parts are actually advisable for all of you to watch. The last part, that is to find out where the formula came from, only if you are really interested, watch it. Otherwise it might be mathematically too tiring, or it might be just of no use to you. So what I'll just recommend to you is watch the first 2 parts carefully. The 3rd part, if you want to watch it, it's good, you should. If you don't want to watch it, it's okay, you can actually neglect that part. You can stop the video after the 2nd part, and I'll tell you when to do that. So you can stop the video after the 2nd part and then not watch the 3rd part. So let's start off. Now let us consider these are the 4 letters I was talking about, and there are 4 envelopes marked as A, B, C, D, and the letters are marked as 1, 2, 3, 4. The correct arrangement is told to us, that is 1 to A, 2 to B, 3 to C and 4 to D. Now let's try to arrange them in a way that none of the letters goes into the right envelopes. So let's see in a layman method how will we do this. Suppose let's start off with envelope A. So when we talk about envelope A, the wrong letters to put in this are 2, 3 or 4. Now let us consider the next envelope. The second envelope is B. Now here, since 2 is used up, we can actually put here either 3, 1 or 4 by keeping none of them in the right envelopes. What about third? If it is 3, then we cannot put 2 here, we can put just 1 or 4. If it is 4, then we can put either 1 or 3 here. The only letter which we cannot put here is 2. Okay, now let's move on to C. So out of all these, there are only 9 places, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. These are the only 9 ways in which we can put 4 letters into 4 envelopes so that none of the letter goes into the right envelope. So that is the layman method by which we will be trying to solve this one. Now if we do not want to spend this much time, or otherwise if suppose there are letters like, suppose there are 6 letters and 6 envelopes, or say 10 letters and 10 envelopes, then we need to have some sort of formula. So here the theorem or the formula or the theorem that we use is known as derangement theorem. That is derangement Now what is this derangement theorem? Derangement theorem actually boils everything down to a single formula, and that formula is, for example, for let's first of all write down the formula in a generalized manner. So if it is say n envelopes and n letters, then in that case the derangements would be factorial n into 1 minus 1 upon factorial 1 plus 1 upon factorial 2 minus 1 upon factorial 3 plus up to 1 upon factorial n, and this is minus 1 to the power n. This is the derangement formula, which actually if we look into carefully, this actually cancels out. It is 1 minus 1. So some people also write this derangement formula as factorial n 1 upon factorial 2 minus 1 upon factorial 3 plus minus 1 to the power n upon factorial n. So this is also a way of writing the same formula. Okay, so if we try to use the derangement theorem here, n will be 4, so we have to write factorial 4 into 1 upon factorial 2 minus 1 upon factorial 3 plus 1 upon factorial 4, which actually brings it to factorial 4 upon 2, that is 4 into 3, that is 12 minus 4 plus 1, that gives us 9. So again the answer is 9. Actually there is another way in which I prefer writing the formula as, see, since we are talking about the number of derangements, we can also write it in another fashion. Let's again write the derangement formula. Derangement formula is factorial n 1 minus 1 upon factorial 1 plus 1 upon factorial 2 minus 1 upon factorial 3 plus up to minus 1 to the power n upon factorial n. This whole thing can also be written as factorial n minus factorial n upon factorial 1 plus factorial n upon factorial 2 minus factorial n upon factorial 3 plus minus 1 to the power n factorial n upon factorial n. So what is this? This is like, if we actually remember the formula for the permutation, that is P, the formula, it is what? Factorial n upon factorial n minus r. So this is actually factorial n upon factorial n minus 1. So this whole thing can also be written as np0, sorry, not np0. Here we already have factorial 0 in the denominator. So what we can write this as npn minus np n minus 1 plus np n minus 2 minus np n minus 3 plus minus 1 to the power n np0. So the derangement formula can be written in this format or in this format. So this is one format which I have not found as of now in any of the texts or any of the literatures, mathematics literatures, but this is a formula which I like to use, or it's much more easier for me to memorize. So you can memorize the formula like this or like this. Now the next part of the video will be focused on finding out where did this formula come from, or what is the proof of this formula. In order to prove the derangement theorem, we will start up from here. Say we have n total envelopes and similar n letters. So now we need to start off with one single envelope. Let's suppose we consider envelope 1, right? And xn will be the total number of derangements. Fine. So xn is the total number of derangements. So let's start off with the first envelope. First envelope, say, how many choices does the first envelope has, by the way? It has n minus 1 choices. So if one has n minus 1 choices, this xn will be having, the first thing that the first factor that we use here will be n minus 1. Now suppose the first envelope takes the rth letter, which is definitely not equal to 1 because it has n minus 1 choices. What are these n minus 1 choices showing? N minus 1 choices means the first envelope has all the other choices except the first letter. So the first envelope takes the rth letter. Now there can be two cases. The first case will be when the rth letter also takes the first envelope, and when the rth letter does not take the first envelope. Right. So when the rth letter takes the first envelope, in that case we are left with n minus 2 letters to derange. Right. So this xn here, it will be xn minus 2. Fine. And now if r does not take letter 1, it will be same as r not taking letter r, except when one wala case is gone. If the first envelope's case is gone, we are left with actually n minus 1 letters to derange. So there will be x into n minus 1 case, right? So now out of this n minus 1, there will be just two cases. First case will be when we will be left with n minus 2 letters to derange, and the second case will be when we are left with n minus 1 letters to derange. So these two are mutually exclusive, so we can add them. So we will get the values n minus 1 plus x into n minus 2. Now what we do, we just try to open this up. So this can be written as xn is equal to n minus 1 into xn minus 1 plus n minus 1 into xn minus 2. Now let's just open this up also. So it will be n into xn minus 1 minus xn minus 1 plus n minus 1 into xn minus 2. Now let's bring it this side. Why are we doing this? We'll just understand in a minute. So xn minus 1 is equal to negative of xn minus 1 minus n minus 1 of xn minus 2. Are we clear with this? So now, being clear here, what is this? If suppose this is Pn, then this will be P of n minus 1, right? Now, there is one more thing which we need to keep in mind, the value of x0. What is x0? x0 is when there is no letter and no envelope, in how many ways can we derange them? See, there is just one case of not putting any letter in any envelope, right? So that is only wrong case, that is the one case. So for 0, by logic we can confirm that x0 is equal to 1. Fine. So if there is no letter and no envelope, we consider that there is just one case, that is not putting any letter into any envelope. So that is same as that is the one case where we will be having this derangement possible. So x0 is 1, we have to find out the other values. So if this Pn is equal to minus Pn minus 1, so this xn, let's just start off from P0. What will be P0 then? See, if x0 equal to 1, P0 equal to x0 minus 0 into whatever xn minus 1. So this is 0 already. This becomes equal to xn, where xn equal to 1. So P0 will be 1 again. So this means that what will be P1 then? P1 will be equal to negative of P0, that is equal to minus 1, right? And similarly P2 will be equal to minus 1, minus of P1, that is equal to again 1, right? So what we can say is, if P2 is equal to 1, P1 is equal to minus 1, in the same way there will be like alternate plus minus plus minus. So we can say that Pn will be equal to minus 1 to the power n. Fine. Okay, let's just write it down so that we are having lack of space. So let's just write it down, whatever we have done till now. What we have done is, first of all, Pn is equal to xn minus n x n minus 1. This is one thing. The other thing is Pn is equal to minus 1 to the power n. So this means we can equate these two. Xn minus n xn minus 1 will be equal to minus 1 to the power n. Now let's divide this whole thing by factorial n. If we divide this thing by factorial n, it will become xn upon factorial n minus xn minus 1 upon factorial n minus 1, which will be n upon factorial n is equal to factorial n minus 1 here. So it is equal to minus 1 to the power n upon factorial n. Fine. So we just try to put different values and find out the sum of them. So how will we do that? It is, say, let's start off with x0. So say xn minus 1 is there, right? So we'll put x0 as the lowest value. So let n minus 1 be equal to 0. So we'll consider from where n equal to 1 to n equal to n. So what we'll do? What we'll get? We'll get x1 upon factorial 1 minus x0 upon factorial 0 equals to minus 1 to the power 1 upon factorial 1. Fine. That is minus 1 upon factorial 1. Next one. Now if we sum all of them up, if we try to add them up, what will happen? This x1 will get cancelled here, x2 will get cancelled here, x3 will get cancelled in the next one. Similarly, finally, this thing will be also cancelled. So what are we going to be left with? Let's just write it down. We finally be just left with xn upon factorial n minus x0 upon factorial 0 equals to minus 1 upon factorial 1 plus 1 upon factorial 2. This is like similar to this. So it will be minus 1 upon factorial 1 plus 1 upon factorial 2 minus 1 upon factorial 3 plus up till plus minus 1 to the power n upon factorial n. Now this x0 is equal to 1. We have seen that already. So we can write since we have already seen that xn upon factorial x0 is equal to 1, so we can write the same thing as xn. I mean this 1 is like 1 upon 1. So if we take it here to this side and multiply the whole thing by factorial n, we will get factorial n 1 minus 1 upon factorial 1 plus 1 upon factorial 2 minus 1 upon factorial 3 plus minus 1 to the power n upon factorial n, which is the derangement curve. So this is how we can use and prove derangement theorem. For more such awesome stuff, stay tuned on Cations.